Young ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. Good evening to all of you. Once again, you are welcome here on the Everyday Consciences platform. In international news headlines, there is very, very good news for sovereign Africa and very bad news for France. I told you, I have been telling you since 2023 that France has begun a steep decline linked to its economy. France will continue to fall. Because the place where France used to draw its resources from, that source has just dried up. That source has dried up. And that source is Africa. When we say it, many people don't want to believe it. Many Africans themselves don't want to understand that France survives thanks to Africa. Yes, by plundering Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, a report recently produced by an American consulting firm whose findings were published on the 4th of July, 2025, by Bloomberg, the well-known American media outlet. This comprehensive report clearly states that France is currently at the very top of the list. Consequently, French companies are experiencing an indescribable and significant financial distress, facing considerable challenges. Since 2024, the numbers have been very, very bad. It's a downfall. It's a downfall. Whether in the public sector or in the private sector. Yes, but this proves that it is thanks to Africa that France stands up, used to stand on its feet. Share this video conference, and above all, thank you for watching it until the end. Share it with our friends in Africa so they understand. Hey, go to France for tourism. Go there for tourism. There's nothing left in France. Since we asked France to leave Africa, there's nothing left in France. There's no point in going to France to look for money. We have money in Africa. It's just that, for now, we don't know how to make use of it, and many people lack the courage. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video conference, we're talking about the distress that exists, not only in France, but in both France and Germany. Germany, which has just recently awakened like a powerful and majestic cat, presenting itself as a formidable lion, now truly wants to take on the significant challenge of Russia by actively supporting Ukraine. In terms of its overall contribution and involvement, Germany comes in second place after France. Let's delve a little deeper into this matter. Thank you for sharing the video conference. Give it a like. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts. Yes, all these interactions give strength to the video conference and much more visibility. So, according to a report by Alvarez and Marsal, relayed by Bloomberg on the 4th of June, 2025, France experienced in 2024 the largest increase in the number of companies facing financial difficulties among the major European economies. When you look at the major European economies, it's the French companies that are in financial trouble. I didn't say any other kind of difficulty. The report doesn't mention any other kind of difficulty, but the report says in financial difficulty. France is at the top of the list. The number is huge. Now, 10.5% of French companies are classified as distressed. Yes, 10.5% of French companies are classified as distressed. So consider this. 10% are considered to be distressed companies. They have gone beyond the stage of bankruptcy. They are no longer just bankrupt. Because when a company is bankrupt, it can still be turned around. There are restructuring procedures. Yes, but when a company is in distress, all you can do is cry. Yes. So, it should be noted that in 2023, this is just the 2024 report, by the way, for 2025, which hasn't come out yet. If in 2023, it was at 8.1%. It increased by 2.6%. In 2025, how much will it be? We might reach 15% of companies classified as distressed. I want our brothers in Africa to hear about this. Yes. So, according to official information, the share of French companies in distress reached 10.5% compared to 8.1% the previous year, according to the American consulting firm Alvarez Marshall. This jump represents the largest increase observed in Europe and highlights France's growing economic instability. France is experiencing growing economic instability, meaning one might think it's just a temporary instability. But when the instability is characterized by its growth, it means it's unstoppable. And we won't be able to stop this economic instability. France has exploited Africa too much. And today, it's Africa's karma that's sitting back at the French economy. Yes, you may be wondering, but how? How many countries has Air France been removed from? Can you imagine how much that represents in terms of revenue, in terms of income? Yes, that's the private sector. As for the public sector, that's another story. They've cut budgets, even going so far as to cut university funding. But still, nothing is working. To this day, they are struggling to draft a budget proposal for 2026. That's the public sector. So the experts from Alvarez and Marshall attribute this decline to political and fiscal challenges. Because after the snap elections of 2024, France ended up with a fragmented parliament, unable to carry out stable reforms. That's the argument being put forward. Yes, politics, then taxes, the snap legislative elections, all of that affected France. And then the fragmented parliament, Macron without a majority in parliament, things like that. These are the arguments being made. But the real reason is Africa. They no longer have anywhere to draw from in Africa. The terror affair doesn't work anymore. The healthcare sector is the most affected, with 17.3% of companies in the healthcare sector classified as distressed. Can a country like that really claim to provide healthcare to African countries? It's false. It's a deception. Let's stop fooling ourselves. France has nothing to offer us. It has nothing. We really need to understand that in the end, when people say France wants to build hospitals in Africa, whatever, their own hospitals, 17.3% of them are classified as being in distress. And when an institution or organization is in distress, it needs assistance. So overall, Europe is under pressure. Germany is also on alert. Yes, in Germany, which is another economic pillar of Europe, 11.5% of companies are now in difficulty, according to the same data. The increase is significant. Actually, I made a mistake. No, wait, I didn't make a mistake. The figure, 11.5%, refers to companies in difficulty. So you move from the stage of difficulty to falling into distress. Things are not going well in Europe. And here is Germany deciding to invest massively in the context of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Whatever happens, ladies and gentlemen, we won't go into too much detail as we're already short on time. That was the sad news for France and the good news for the rest of us, because it's a very clear message. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the top story in international news. So please share it as much as possible. I'll be back with more news for you shortly. This was the voice of your one and only Samouraï.